Hello. This is spooky. The Spectre. Everything about this spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. We weren't sure that would work. We pooled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you. He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. That's what every spooky ghost figure sounds like in my head. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body is still out there in the real world, healing from the fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. It shouldn't be too hard. You only fell from the moon, straight to the earth. Yeah, who are you? He pauses and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering. I'm you. I'm a part of your mind, a splinter. I was waiting here for you. We called you, with the memories of the others who are here. I don't know what happened next. So, who are these other people? You called them reflections? That's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you knew, people you met in the real world, and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why. It just happens. If this place is my mind, why don't I remember any of this? Any of you? It's your mind. A construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self. You know how people say, in the first place? This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me anyway. You probably know better, since it's yours. If you don't remember now, maybe it'll come to you later. You said I have to finish the process? What do you mean by that? After you wake up from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine. What do you mean attuned to the tides? Tides are like a force. Like the Force, specifically. Sorry, low. Like gravity or magnetism or something. Except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is your body out in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up. So, what's a resonance chamber? I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it, and a ring set in the floor. It's very soothing and not at all intimidating to be around. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. Before I met you, it felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what that was? He closes his eyes. That is a memory I do not wish to recall. Large, black, furious. It's our death. It's the sorrow. Yeah, I remember my first time shopping on Bad Dragon. I hope it's lost its interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. How do you know all this, all that you're telling me? He throws up his hands in frustration.
I'm just a part of you. I look at you and I know. This place was made for you, for us. And I remember pieces of knowledge that come to me when you ask your questions, but that is all.
So, how do I get back to the real world?
There's a portal down there. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it and the whole tides thing should take care of itself.
He crosses his arms.
When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What in the hells is that?
Yeah. Oh no. Cthulhu!
Gods, it's the sorrow.
Oh, well then. Oh no! All my friends are being stabbed. The
sorrow is anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them. Destroy its ankles, or else this...
Destroy its ankles.
Destroy its ankles, or else the sorrow will erase us forever. Bite its ankles, lost cast off. You know what you must do.
Crisis initiated. Ah, me every morning. Crisis. Okay. So they're not just combats; they're fights. That's cool. Take one action and also move. Cool.
That reflection near you. Kill it. You'll loosen the sorrow's anchor.
It's sorrow's ankles. I'm so bad at words. I'm gonna attack. Effort can be applied. Okay. Okay, so increases by 20%. Good to have a solid number. The cost from 1 point from... Alright, well, it's a good thing I'm unarmed. Let's do 1. So we have an 85% chance. Swing! Bah! Just punch! Bah! Uh-oh.
What in the... It's escaping. It's going to hide inside your mind. Now run, get to the next one. I'm sure the whole escaping thing is nothing to worry about.
You can sacrifice your action for the turn to double move. Cool. Oh, that's handy. Well, that's cool. I'm on my way! The Sorrow's turn. You know, Spectre, maybe you could help me instead of just standing there? I mean, you're a ghost, so I'm not sure how much your punches would help, but... Applying effort also increases the damage you deal. Different weapons and abilities gain different amounts of bonus damage from effort. Okay. Let's just go with 65. Why not? And I missed. Dang it. Okay, so that was a whole lot of useless. Okay, fine, I'll spend my action points. Okay, so punch. Bah! There we go. Hey, my guy. So how are the kids? No, God!
What is it doing now? It's infecting it somehow.
Fettles are temporary conditions or status effects that can improve or reduce character stats. So, oh no. Do I... Ah, man, that's a positive thing. I was gonna sucker punch it. How do I... Okay, well, no. Yeah, I gotta find a way to fix your fettle by punching it out of you. Oh, they have armor, so let's... Dang it, okay. There's the issue. Okay.
Skizzed. The reflection is protected somehow. You need to find a way to hit it even harder. Grab that piece of mirror glass. It might have enough residual energy to kill the reflection.
Okay, so glad I backed out and didn't waste my turn. Okay, pick it up. Also, I'm pretty sure skizzed is like an in-universe swear word. Like, Drek in Shadowrun. Ah, dang it. Can I yeet? Could I perhaps yeet? Ha! Got I didn't actually think that would work. Ah, nice. We killed it. It's dead now. I'm sure there's absolutely nothing bad that could happen from killing the mental manifestations of people I knew. I'm sure my mental state will be perfectly okay.
You pried it loose. That thing is a cancer, an infection. It's unstoppable, but you stopped it.
I know you're trying to be nice, but your phrasing is weird. He holds his head in his hands.
I can't believe it found us. In here.
He looks at you, terror in his eyes.
That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it, but that's why the resonance chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late.
You know, normally that would seem suspicious, but I'm a person who I could forget what my own face looks like until I look in a mirror, then be like, oh, that's me. So, you know, I trust this guy.
The portal to your body is that shimmering dome there. Go now.
Yeah. I'll show you my shimmering dome that is the portal to my body. Haha. That was a sex joke. Oh! And the TV that is our mind turns off. Oh, this is pretty. Ooh.
Where did she fall from? Her body smashed to talk. Wonder if she's still breathing.
I don't know why that's his voice. All I saw was the corona, not her origin point. But look, she's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Will you look at that?
Wait, I know that face. Oh, and they're passed out. I had to come up with voices on the fly. Those might not be their permanent voices. Okay, what voice do I give this kind fellow?
What was that? What did you do, Calistage?
His tone becomes accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscope of tattoos, writhing across his forearm. He wears a long, dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? She emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Allegan. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure you're not seeing double. Fainter echoes of her actions trail from behind her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows.
Oh yes, it's obvious, Calistage.
His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him.
You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking.
His face is hard and set. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm perfectly normal.
You really don't know?
He cocks his head to the side.
I'm starting to think you're not her.
Starting to think, Allegan? Tell me, is it a novel experience?
It's her face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly.
He sighs and rubs his face.
Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me.
You're familiar with the word changing, Allegan? It implies inconstancy. That's a word I've never seen before. Thus, the changing god may have, change. Several versions of her shrug, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you are newly born. Her most solid self curtsies while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Callistage. This is Allegan. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. So, you say I was born when the changing god left, but why am I not dead?
I used a cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do? If you've constructed your body for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No. You'll make strong bodies. Fast, powerful, maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it.
The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want those scars of yours. What was that blast of energy when I woke up? As I was telling my calling, it was obviously a physiological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the best of a cast-off, but yes, it could have very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm. Not to me, at least.
Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here.
He shoots her a sidelong look.
You just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them.
If the changing god abandoned my body, where is he now?
If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another.
He eyes you keenly. Oh, do stop! The look she gives Allegan is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. Do you know anything about the tides? I've heard that term before. A subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Let's not say the first one. That'll just make them more suspicious. I want to ask about something else. So, who is this changing god?
Ha! That's something coming from you.
She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, a means to transfer his self to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void.
Oh, he knew all right.
He eyes you up and down coldly.
The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind.
If you know the changing god through my body, why do you keep referring to me as he? The patriarchy, baby! We know your creator through legend and research. He's taken the form of men, women, visitants, and other things. Ah, yes, the four genders. His form is fluid, as the name suggests, but the stories about the changing god always refer to him.
It's easier, Allegan shrugs. You are a woman. The changing god is himself.
Where are we, anyway? Yeah, where are we? What is this place? A sanctum of your sire's. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. We already know there are other cast-offs. Before I woke, I was in some kind of dreamlike labyrinth with a glowing specter.
It was probably just the mushrooms. With how hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that's all you saw.
So if falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical. A regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be able to survive most varieties of... You'd be unable, to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You're in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights, and holograms from the many machines flashing around you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pond. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the Sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. Calistage is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you. It looks like the Spectre had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms arrayed around it in a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to...
I think she gets the point, Calistage.
Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber there? Alligator chuckles. Then, firm and certain, he says,
Not likely. Though it might not be impossible. You need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the Changing God will hold the answer.
Her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where's your judgment, Alligan? I would take her to the Order of Truth.
The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart.
What's the Order of Truth? Knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help bring humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Alligan here was once one of them.
Oop, I accidentally skipped a dialogue. Frauds, quacksalvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I not trust them with the Changing God's secrets.
You're just angry they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I'm being too cruel, dear Alligan. Let us take our new friend to the Order. What's the call to the Changing God? I mean, name's kind of self-explanatory, but...
Despite what she says, they're not insane.
Always a good way to start a sentence.
They're eccentric.
She laughs, but he soldiers on.
They're worshippers of you and your sire, the Changing God. They devote their lives to understanding your kind.
I would trust the Order of Truth more than anything. Take me to the Order of Truth. Of course. Once I provided introductions to the priest, we'll have your chamber fixed in no time.
You'll end up without your clothes and broken in a ditch while she laughs it off as a good experiment. It's probably best I come with you as well.
I mean, hey, that sounds like a fine way to spend a Friday. Suspicious as always, Elegant. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you to safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her faces. Why do you want to go with me, huh? What's in it for you? I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef.
Kid, you're not safe here. Not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef. Scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from, what you were.
Alright, cool. Sounds very safe. Let's go, friends. Companions, yeah. Inspiration. Okay, so we have smart, punchy, and also smart. Cool. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered resonance chamber. It's hard enough to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It is hard to believe that you're still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device, above the cracked semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Yeah, let's take a look at the thing so we know what parts we're actually looking for. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above. It seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Look at the arms. Cables run from machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the bases of the arms. Let's look at the middle ring. You feel the slightest hit of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you know that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes. Interesting. Let's look at the shards. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. Pick it up. Nice. At the rim of the crater, you find a sliver of crystal, sharp as a dagger on one end and smooth on the other. It might make a somewhat usable, if crude, weapon. Unarmed attacks you speed, so I might stick with going unarmed for now. But I also might be able to give... Can I get one of them weapons? Oh, she just straight up has a gun. Alright, well, looks like y'all are fine, I guess. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, this weapon also uses speed. Cool, okay. Well, let's, anything else to look at? Ooh, a thing. A slate-black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arc rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there, at its peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me. The device, or the intelligent with it, says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Show me that arc again. The device's triangle of lights throb in time with the growl of the engines within its casings, and the mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arc on a jagged field. The arch, not arc. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they all appear to be transparent and empty, except at the arc's pinnacle. One cell is lit in a brilliant, pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on its side. Try and remember more details. 80%. I like those odds. Dang it. I have goofed it. You scanned the arc, the landscape, and for a moment you almost grasp the memory, and you hear a dry voice speaking a command. But the buzzing hum of the intelligence's engines proved too distracting. The memory is gone. You'll have to pry the memory from the device's grasp some other way. Let's look at the wasteland. Dry grit whirls across the empty plain. Many kilometers beyond the arc is the faint outline of what seems to be a broken tower, except that it is slowly stretching into the gray air. I probably should have looked at the wasteland first and then tried to remember the memory. What are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but is choosing not to answer. Alright, smartass, what commands do you recognize? 3 lights throb irritably. Heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands race through your mind, too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. I like this thing. Though the list was mostly a blur, one particular command, Unleash, seemed to be highlighted in emerald. The same emerald at the top of the arc in the dark field. I'm not going to use it. What person is like, oh, one of the commands on this machine is unleash. Let's use it. I'm not doing that. Examine the outside of the device. Since the AI isn't going to be of much help. An indignant hum rises from the intelligence's engines as you examine its ancient casing. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. You step back and the hum fades away. What was that arch you showed me? Your command was not understood. Its lights pulsing. Command me. I'm gonna kick it. Baby Angie. If you select the companion's portrait in the effort window. Nice. Yeah, Kyle Stage is the weakest of them, so. Aligan, show this thing who's boss. Psh! Oh, nope. Oh, sorry, I goofed. The intelligence's lights flutter in alarm just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within grows crunch. Cell gating damaged, it gasps, the trio of lights focusing on you with blinding intensity. All prisoners lost, shuddering Logumvo. Oh, that's not good. A hatch springs open near the dent by your left foot, and the lights flicker off as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoking interior. A view shard. The shard of glass displays an image of 3 strangely garbed children in a field. A sequence of them playing a simple ball game repeats itself. After repeat viewings, you notice a small child standing further away in the field. The 4th child is looking directly at you. Her large eyes brim with fear. And I can make $72 off of that! You plan on breaking every machine in here? Ah, dang it. Well, I hope I just didn't trap those children in a horrible purgatory from which there's no escape. Tiny glowing motes flow through the interior of this tower. Each one is constructed by much smaller motes, like thousands of worlds circling their sun. The flexible tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear. Loot! Money? 3 points of intellect. And 3 points of speed. Nice. I do like how using your inventory items use movement instead of, like, your combat action. Broken fragments of the domed ceiling are scattered on the floor. They appear to be made of transparent synth. Alright. Time to explore the big, scary world.